Apple made many announcements today at its annual developers conference, but sadly, no one was there due to the coronavirus situation. However, I was very impressed with all these drone shots in the Apple headquarters. Man, it looks amazing. Good job. Let's cut to the chase. Major announcements. They talked about iOS 14. They talked about, okay, this is the elephant in the room. We got to talk about this. This right here. The new chips on the Macs. They finally talked about that. Of course, all the features on iOS, iPadOs. They talked about a few features on AirPods, and let's get to it. But the most important thing I was excited about was Macs. I love Macs, and I got excited about the idea that having a chipset from this built into this, of course, something that is based on the iPad chipset, but on steroids, and putting that in a Mac, I think that's exciting. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be lots of difficulties and challenges in using an Apple chip based on ARM and ditching Intel completely and putting that in a Mac, but Apple's finally doing it. All right, first let's talk about iOS 14. That's what Apple began the conference with. The most noticeable changes for iOS 14, you've got a home screen for the iPhone, and now they've got a new space called the App Library, and I think this is a really cool feature. When you pick up your phone and you look at all these icons, sometimes, of course, you must have muscle memory. You remember for the first few pages where the icons are, but then if you have so many apps and lots of pages, you get lost. So this functionality is very useful, called App Library. It's a bunch of folders that your iPhone creates automatically, and it groups all of these apps together based on the category. For example, you've got entertainment. Apple's also making changes to its widget's appearance in iOS 14. So now you can access more data at a glance. One interesting feature that caught my attention is something called Apple Clips, which lets you use a smaller, lighter version of an app when you need to use one specific feature only, rather than launching the full app. So if you just want to use one little feature in an app, you don't need to open the entire app. You have something called App Clips. You've got the option to pin conversations in messages, the ability to mention someone specifically and reply to some message in group texts in messages. Apple also added some Siri updates in iOS 14, including more advanced translation features and a new interface. Now, you've got so many other features as well. By the way, Apple also added some customizations to your emojis, including face masks. So you might end up looking like this. And speaking of masks, did you see the new iPadOs update? Now iPad can have better detection for masks. All right, nobody's here, so I'm gonna take off this mask. Man, it gets really foggy when you try to talk. If you're wearing glasses like me, it can get really difficult. Let me put on my glasses and show you what I'm talking about. So if I put on a mask like this, if you're talking, check out my glasses, man. This gets so irritating. Apple has also introduced a new nifty feature called Car Key, which lets you unlock and start your car with your phone with iOS. Here are all the features that you get in the new iOS 14. Have a look yourself. These updates are important because Android phones had these widgets and customizable options. I mean, it's been a staple of the Android ecosystem. And now Apple is offering more customization options in the new updates. iPadOs had some very important updates this year, and I'm excited to use them. First, Siri. Siri's placed in a different way at the bottom right corner. Then you're no longer distracted by calls because now they're at the upper notification place. And once you draw a shape, the iPad recognizes that shape. And of course, you can also select text. So iPad has got lots of new exciting features and options that I'm going to review and test pretty soon. I guess it's a no-brainer that Apple revealed that they're going to develop their own chips for Mac computers. Then Apple talked about their next software update for Macs, macOS Big Sur. And that, of course, has a new design, an updated version of Safari, features that make Macs even more similar to the iPhone and iPad. I think what Apple's trying to do is somehow unify the macOS and iPadOS in one form where apps can communicate seamlessly and you can pick up where you left off from one device to another. And Safari now has a new privacy report that tells users how websites are treating their data. Now, I want to talk about the most important announcement, which is Apple's breakup with Intel. Apple's finally going to use their chips. We've been hearing rumors for a while now. I got excited about it. I thought the idea of having an ARM chip, because look, this little guy right here, he's not really little. I mean, in comparison with other laptops, he is little, but you get the picture. This little guy is so powerful, and Apple wasn't kidding a few years ago. This is a 2018 product. Apple was not kidding when they said that this chip is more powerful than 92% of laptops out there, and that was 2 years ago. You know what? They were right. Benchmarks don't lie. And if you have so much power under the hood in such a small and efficient form factor, that's amazing. And I think that might change the way we look at our laptops as well. I think with ARM chipsets and Apple-designed custom chipsets, laptop battery lives are going to be much longer. They're going to be much more efficient, more powerful. I'm actually excited about Apple's chips. All of these announcements and changes try to make Apple's apps and the environment more uniform. That's what they want to do. They want to make everything seem more seamless, flexible, and uniform. They want to add consistency to their app environment. So sleep tracking, I think, is really exciting. You can finally find out if you're sleeping properly. I think many of us are not sleeping properly. And fun fact, yes, according to science, you need 7 hours of sleep. If you disagree, feel free to do that in the comments below. We're not going to get into the topics of REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep, and all those kinds of sleep. But I think your Apple Watch can do the job for you and track your sleep. WatchOS has some new exciting features, including sleep tracking and face sharing, new workouts, hand washing, winding down, chronograph, and all the other stuff. And speaking of sleep, I'm getting sleepy here. Man, I need to go and sleep. I'll catch you later. Take care.